Okay, before we get started, I need you to pay attention to what I'm gonna say. We're starting a new series called Lost Cargo. It's gonna be about the mistakes and mishaps of all the popular brands, artists, and creatives that we typically focus on. We're still gonna make in-process episodes, but those are gonna become a lot more in-depth and experimental, much like our last episode on Cause. Okay, thanks for hearing me out. Let's get on with the video. So the way we usually make videos at Push Product is like this. Felipe and I get together and we brainstorm topics to cover. We do some research and then discuss key points on the subject. Then I write out a script and then Felipe edits the visuals. However, we kind of had to switch things around this time. You see, I've never really cared about Chance the Rapper or his music. He always seemed kind of safe and a little corny to me. But Felipe's always been into Chance. Ever since 10 Day, he's got a deeper connection and a stronger appreciation for Chance's music. So it's only right for him to share his true feelings about the subject. So let me pass the mic over to him and let Felipe share his feelings about the big day.
This album was so fucking disappointing, we had to do something about it. Alright, first, you don't have to agree with what I have to say or anything on this video. But if you disagree, I invite you to have a conversation with us. Write a comment down below and tell me why I'm wrong. But I want to also make something really clear. We worked really hard to make this project happen. It was stressful, exciting, overwhelming, but at the end it was very surprising and very rewarding. Now, a lot of people criticize the big day, but that's all they did. We had to take it further than that. We had to put ourselves out there and make something better than what Chance did. Now, if you don't like it, then we might be just as whack as Chance. However, I'm willing to face that criticism. Before you say anything, before you call me a hater, we are inspired by Chance, okay? But I want to make something clear. Chance doesn't make art anymore. When I first heard The Big Day, I knew right away it wasn't art. The album was too long and too all over the place. I believe artists, in this case rappers, should treat their music albums as bodies of art. Now, as bodies of art, they have to have certain aesthetic and generate certain type of feeling. Now, think about movies, for example. Movies have to have a coherent story and they have to have consistent cinematography. Now sure, sometimes movies can switch it up, but if they do it too often, they might run the risk of having a shitty movie on their hands. Now The Big Day has way too many inconsistent musical elements. It's hip hop, gospel, bounce, juke, electronic, synth funk, acoustic, house, pop. I mean, what the f***? Even the lyrical content, it's inconsistent. Now, I'm sure you've heard all over the place that Chance loves his wife very much. 70% of the lyrics are about his wife. The rest of the lyrics are about God, family, and a bunch of nothingness. The album is way too long and he just keeps jumping around these themes without no clear direction. There is no story whatsoever. It's just a bunch of crap. Now this album fucking disappointed me because the Chance I once connected with was amazing. For example, I love the fact that his first mixtape, 10 Day, was inspired by his 10-day suspension from his school. The music was very good and the story behind it was perfect. I was really excited for him and for Save Money at the time. Chicago was starting to become this creative hotspot. By the time he dropped Acid Rap, I was all in. I loved the fact that he was pushing to be independent. He was blowing up on Dat Piff, he was blowing up on Billboard, the people at XXL already starting to notice, and he was getting love from all over the country, and international too. Now, one of the things I loved about him was his fresh take on his sound and his marketing strategies. He was looking like a bit of a genius at that time. So why is the Big Day so f***ing brain dead? I believe that the Big Day, it's an insult to Chance's previous catalog. Chance's lyrics were always poetry. He rapped about his introspective thoughts and he shared his feelings about Chicago's violence at the time. You could somehow relate to what he was saying. So now the Big Day was supposed to be his best work yet. He had a lot of people excited. It was the follow-up to The Coloring Book. Not only that, but after 3 years of no Chance music, we get told that Kanye West is supposed to be producing the entire album, and it was supposed to be called Good Ass Job. This was not only going to be a defining moment for Chance, but for the city of Chicago as well. So instead of getting a 7-track album produced by Kanye West, we got 22 songs,
77 minutes long,
of trash. The Big Day? More like the huge disappointment. So when I first heard the album, I couldn't believe what I was hearing.
Superman muscles? Peanut butter jelly with a f***ing baseball bat?
What is this? Did he collab with f***ing Curious George? Like what the f*** is going on? To be honest, he should have. And it would have probably been better than what we got. This just doesn't fit in with the rest of his catalog, and it doesn't stand out in a good way either. He's off-brand, the album is off-brand. To be honest, the whole situation was a mess. So after being an independent marketing genius for such a long time, I now gotta say that I'm also completely disappointed on his branding and marketing skills recently. Now think about this for a second. Artists are their own brand, just like Coca-Cola, McDonald's, or Red Bull. All of these brands have a story to tell. So now let's look at Coca-Cola for example. What do you see when you look at the Coca-Cola logo? You see the logotype that has been with the brand since the beginning of its creation. Now, what do you see when you look at a marketing campaign from Coca-Cola? During the winter, you usually see families loving each other, having fun, opening presents, it's Christmas, the polar bear, it's lovely, it just creates like such a nice story. But now let's dig a little bit deeper than that. Coca-Cola, with these marketing strategies, they're not trying to sell you their black bubbly soda. What they are selling you is happiness packed in a bottle. Just like brands, artists, rappers in this case, create their own brand to try to sell their own product, music. Now I mentioned Kanye earlier. What do you think Kanye's brand is? What do you think he's trying to sell? It's alright, I'll wait. Think about it for a second. Alright, ready? Kanye's brand, it's unpredictability. And he's trying to sell you freedom of thought as an idea. If you go back and listen to all of Kanye's projects, you could relate that same idea to all of his music. Now, what do you think Chance's brand was before the Big Day? Chance's brand image was about high energy and experimentation, alongside with the idea of being independent. He basically was telling us through his music that you don't really need a record deal to be successful in the music industry. Hell, he even became the first independent artist to ever win a Grammy for not selling their music. He changed the game in a way, and I respect him for that. Unfortunately, on the Big Day, we don't see any of this. Now, instead of seeing a triumphant Chance who beat up the f***ing record industry, all we get is a love story that had no beginning, no middle, and no end. Hell, even the cover art of his album was off-brand. I was incredibly disappointed in Chance after all of this. One of my favorite rappers was falling apart and there's nothing I could do about it. Or could I? What if we made an album that was inspired by Chance's previous albums to help other artists strategize the way they make their own albums. We don't really know Chance. We can really make him do anything. We could use that inspiration to move our asses and do something. Now, this is something that no other music critic has done before. So what we decided to do was to select some of our favorite artists and producers, put them all together in the same album, and create something that was Chance inspired. Now we decided to call it The Morning After. So I wanted to first give a shout out to all of the artists who came together to make this project possible. Without them, we couldn't have done anything. So shout out to the producers, John Bitoy, Lucian and Mnemonic, Chris Punsalan, produced by Chu, SIKKY Beats, produced by MAYZE, and Misfit Beats. We also want to give a shout out to the artists, the singers and the rappers that brought life into the instrumentals. So shout out to MAYZE and Dane, It's Just Sav, Ofi, Jack Wild, Apollo Veritas, Saint, Chai Complex, Cito Chase, and to our boy Ashamat. Now keep in mind that we've never met any of these artists in person, and everything we did it through Instagram, YouTube, WhatsApp. We utilized every single piece of technology that we could use to make this project happening. So we wanted to inspire you guys to start creating some collaborations with people that you don't even know. Just reach out to them via Instagram, TikTok, whatever the fuck you use. Just get up on your ass, start making these little things happening, make a song together, make an album together, drop them, have like a good marketing strategy, and see if it blows up. You never know. Alright, now that being said, all of his mistakes became our inspiration to remake something that was better and something that was on brand. But most importantly, we're putting it out there knowingly that you might not like it. It might be just as bad or even worse than the big day. Now you might clown us and call us talentless haters. And that's okay, because Push Product is always taking risks when it comes to getting creative. Alright, so the goal of this project was to get hip hop fans to understand a way of having their music blow up by dropping an EP that remakes a popular Fade album. Chance the Rapper was a marketing revolutionary. He gave away his music for free, which helped him market his way up to the top. So we wanted to use that same type of strategy to market our album. Because when it comes to music, it's not only important to have a good sound, but you also have to have a good strategy to get your music out there. This wasn't gonna be easy, and even Noboru and I started to get into arguments about how we were gonna try to do this. Not only we were on the phone non-stop, but I was also sweating over the logistics and trying to arrange things with the artists and with the producers. Now, on our Chaos video, when we said we wanted to work with artists and we told you guys to submit your music, we got over 400 submissions. So it took me 2 weeks just to go through everyone, and it took me a while just to find the perfect fit for this project. Not only was this exhausting, but after a few weeks of trying to talk with the artists and with the producers, a few of them dropped out. So I want to make something very clear. It wasn't smooth at all. We hit some bumps on the road, but we never stopped. We've realized that it was taking us too long to create this one specific project. And we were worried that people were just gonna forget about Push Product. So at the end, we really just decided that we're not gonna pay too much attention to the timing of things. We are only gonna put all the energy into each project, no matter how long it takes. But we kind of found a solution for that, and that's why we created a second channel, just to kind of upload random stuff. It doesn't necessarily have to be super complicated projects. It could just be day-to-day things. And on that channel, we're gonna drop this album, and also the album is gonna be in all platforms. So go out, check it out, and let us know what you think. And if you like it, please share it with your friends. We wanna see these artists blow up, and we want to be the platform where you can come and share your work. Our main goal is to just create and collaborate with other artists, no matter what your background is. And eventually, we even want to create events and create interactive projects. So if you want to participate in our next project, go to our Instagram, follow us, and shoot us a DM. And if you want to continue helping us make shit like this happen, go to our Patreon. On Patreon, you can get more than a thank you from us. We will include consultation, advice, merch, and lots of other stuff that will help us build our vision. Now, if you don't fuck with our album, instead of complaining and being a little bitch and talking about it,
You motherfuckers.
And your mom's a hoe.
I suggest you do a better push product album and show us that you're ready to put the work in. After all, it's all inspiration, but if you don't come correct, don't come at all. That's how I feel about Chance, and that's what it means to push product.
So that's the first episode of Lost Cargo. Stay tuned for our next episode on Vic Mensa, another Chicago MVP that's been falling off. If you miss the classic Vic Mensa sound like I do, send us your Vic-inspired music so we can pick up where he left off. We will include it in the next project. And make sure you subscribe to our second channel. We'll be throwing all kinds of content on there. Okay, thanks for watching. Much love. Peace.